Political banter bombards us from every angle, every medium, every voice. Everyone these days is talking politics, and it all sounds the same. Except for one. We sent loose a team of the most talented, most well-sourced journalists to infiltrate Washington's halls of power, to turn traditional journalism upside down, to change how American politics is covered. And Politico did it. Politico has quickly become the most influential voice in politics today. Powered by Washington-based All Britain Communications, Politico has come to define the standard for political reporting in Washington and around the world. With Washington Post political correspondents John Harris and Jim Vandehei at the helm, Politico gives traditional media's national news dominance a run for its money. The Washingtonian calls Politico a media phenomenon. Utilizing every medium available, Politico has been making and breaking news from day one. Politico in print. With 32,000 copies distributed daily to the nation's most powerful players, Politico dominates the Washington market with the most well-informed, best-written coverage of Capitol Hill, the White House, and the major political and policy battles. Politico is hand-delivered to every member of Congress, the White House, all of Washington's most powerful decision-makers, and to 200 strategically located news boxes in the D.C. area. Plus, you can now find Politico at 100 participating Starbucks locations around Washington. Politico Online. Vanity Fair says Politico has solved the future of news. With more than 3.2 million unique monthly visitors, our online readership is #1 among national opinion leaders and agenda shapers. We rank as the most read and most trusted national news website. Not to mention, Politico is one of Nielsen Net Rating's top 30 newspaper websites nationwide. No one else can curb the cravings of political obsessives quite like Politico. With more reporters in the White House than any other news organization, Politico 44 probes the pulse of the Obama administration. From the Oval Office to Air Force One, our reporters capture minute-by-minute detail, marching with the beat of the most powerful leader in the world. Newsweek calls Politico Playbook a daily, scoop-soaked breakfast in bed for the country's most powerful people.
I sit down, turn on the computer, and say, where's my playbook? Boom, I get it right there. Sitting at my desk, getting ready for Morning Joe, and getting a sneak peek of what Mike's going to do on the show.
Before my radio show starts at 6 a.m., I have read Mike Allen's playbook, and I've done all the preparation I need to do for 3 hours of radio.
I read playbook in bed.
We own the Washington Morning. Mike Allen's playbook features the morning's breaking news, exclusive scoops, and the stories people won't stop talking about all day long. For lifestyles of Washington's most powerful and famous, there is no other place to click. Click is the premier destination for the latest news and gossip on DC's social scene. The Arena hosts a daily debate between policymakers and opinion shapers. We invite some of the country's most influential movers and shakers to weigh in on the day's most controversial issues. From policy battles to the hot DC gossip, Politico is your one-stop news shop to everything Washington. Politico on TV and on the radio. Each week, Politico personalities average more than 100 media appearances on the major networks, cable news channels, and national radio stations.
Executive editor of Politico, Jim Vandehei. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
I'm Nia Malika Henderson, White House correspondent for Politico.com.
The chief political correspondent for Politico, Mike Allen. He's got a look at the morning playbook. Hey, Mike.
Happy Friday, Willie.
That's an exclusive in today's Politico. Joining us is reporter Andy Barr.
And Roger Simon is with the very prestigious news organization, the Politico.
With the insight and perspective we bring to a conversation, it's no wonder Politico voices are in such high demand.
Finally, Jonathan, I want to ask you about a fresh story on Politico.com.
Politico.com is reporting that
Politico has a poll they're going to reveal to us right now.
Here's the latest Politico poll.
You know, that's interesting that you bring up that point, because that sort of underscores this Politico poll.
Politico has made a prominent name for itself in the world's most powerful circles and even among our peers.
Mike Allen, arguably the greatest political journalist of our time.
I love reading my Politico every morning at home. Whoever sends it to me, I thank them. I love reading your politics, especially around 6 in the morning when I'm ready for it.
Politico, it is the place to go for news and politics.
Thank you, John. Love Politico, by the way.
Jonathan Mornings with the Politico, which is the hot new political organ.
Politico is always working, so you can always go to Politico 24/7.
With so many eyes on us, it's clear Politico is the most influential and cost-effective way to reach decision makers on Capitol Hill. We're revolutionizing Washington journalism as we know it. No other news outlet can generate the same reach, have the same impact, or offer as much influence. And Politico can help you reach these influential opinion leaders in positions of power with your message, with guidance from one of the most experienced teams of business and advertising executives in Washington. From designing and packaging the most successful message possible, to strategically targeting your message over multiple platforms, and at the most influential audience possible, Politico has you covered. Before the noise of repetitive politics surrounds you, trust the one voice the other guys turn to first. Politico, the most influential voice in Washington.